13,842 kilometers. 927 meters deep. 831 kilometers per hour. You think a tsunami is just a giant wave. You are wrong. A tsunami is not a wave. A tsunami is the entire ocean being displaced at once. It is not created by the wind. It is pure geology. 1,734 gigajoules of accumulated kinetic energy. That makes no sense to the human eye. Most people think they can swim away from it. They die trying. The ocean doesn't break like a surfer's wave. It advances like an infinite freight train that never stops arriving. Boom. It all begins in the dark depths of the abyss. The Earth's crust is divided into massive tectonic plates. The Burma Plate and the India Plate press against each other. They accumulate stress for 247 years. The rock deforms. It bends. It resists until the atomic limit. Suddenly, the fault ruptures. 1,200 kilometers of rock slide in seconds. You are about to witness the birth of the monster. Subscribe to master the science that saves lives. From zero to the initial tectonic impact, energy is released invisibly. The ocean floor rises 9 meters in the blink of an eye. Crash. Imagine a billion tons of water being hurled upward. Gravity hates this displacement. It pulls the water back with a force of 9,806 newtons. This creates an oscillation. In the deep ocean, you would see nothing. The wave is only 62 centimeters high at the surface. But it is 242 kilometers long. It is a mass of water that reaches the bottom. A ship passing over it would feel nothing but a slight sway. But beneath it, death travels fast. 834 kilometers per hour. That's the speed of a Boeing 747. From zero to the crust displacement and the birth of the silent oscillation. The danger is invisible. But here's what they don't tell you. On December 26, 2004, the world changed. In Sumatra, the ground shook for 9 whole minutes. It was the longest earthquake ever recorded. 227,898 people vanished in a single day. They didn't see the wave coming. Because in the open sea, physics deceives human senses. The speed is high, but the slope is zero. Energy travels through water molecules colliding with each other. It is pure linear momentum transfer. The water does not travel from one place to another. The energy travels through the water. Imagine a line of 1,300 billiard balls. You strike the first one. The last one moves instantly. That is exactly how the tsunami crossed the Indian Ocean. No warning. No sound. From cruising speed in the abyss to the brutal compression of the water mass. The physics changes when the depth decreases. The ocean becomes shallow near the coast. The base of the wave touches the seafloor. Friction begins to steal speed. The front of the wave slows to 62 kilometers per hour. But the rear continues fast. 800 kilometers per hour pushing the back of the wave. The shoaling phenomenon occurs. The energy has nowhere to go but up. The 60-centimeter wave becomes a wall. 29 meters high. 36 meters high. The volume is incomprehensible. Whoosh. The sound is like 1,000 jet engines firing at once. In this exact frame, the tidal drawback happens. The sea seems to dry up suddenly. Fish flop on dry sand for 800 meters out to sea. Curious tourists run to see. This is the fatal mistake. The drawback is just the vacuum being filled by the approaching crest. From the deadly tidal drawback to the peak of the crest that darkens the sun. The first wave is not the only one. A tsunami is a train of waves. Usually, the third or fourth wave is the most destructive. The interval is 47 minutes. When the water hits land, it is no longer pure blue water. It is a flow of debris. Cars. Trees. Concrete houses. Thousands of tons of trash turned into projectiles. The density of water is 1,000 kilograms per cubic meter. The impact force is crushing. 1 meter of tsunami water can rip a house from its foundations. 3 meters destroy any structure. Slosh. Water enters the lungs in 4 seconds. Thermal shock paralyzes the muscles. There is no swimming in a tsunami. There is only survival by luck or altitude. Pure kinetic energy turns into total destruction in 612 seconds of impact. Frame by frame, concrete disintegrates under a pressure of 342 kilograms per square centimeter. People try to climb trees. The water digs out the roots. The tree falls. People try to get into cars. The car floats and becomes a metal trap. Science says you need at least 32 meters of vertical elevation. Anything below that is a statistical death zone. The terrain dictates who lives. V-shaped bays funnel the water. This increases the wave height to 47 meters. From the first shock wave to the final flood that redefines the coastal map. The water stops advancing. But the danger is not over. Now comes the backwash. All that water needs to return to the ocean. It pulls everything with twice the force. What wasn't destroyed in the advance is shredded in the retreat. The ocean swallows civilization. 9,742 large objects are dragged into the abyss. Cargo ships are left on top of 5-story buildings. The landscape is lunar. 1,824 hours of cleanup do not remove the trauma from the soil. Tsunami science has evolved. We have dart buoys on the seafloor now. They sense a 1 centimeter change in the water column pressure. They send signals via satellite. We have 842 seconds to warn the population in some cases. But the physics of the wave is relentless. If you are on the beach and the ground shakes, you have little time. Don't wait for the sea to recede. Don't look for your phone to record the epic moment. Run. Climb. Survive. Nature does not negotiate with human biology. The water mass does not care about your plans for the future. It is just gravity and momentum. 4,672 joules of pressure per millimeter of skin. Science teaches us to predict. But instinct must teach us to respect the abyss. The ocean is a sleeping giant that wakes every 100 years to redraw the edges of the world. Frame by frame, we saw the destruction of entire cities in less than 10 minutes. The question is not if it will happen again. The question is where and when the plate will give way. 64 millimeters per year. That's how much the plates are moving right now, as you watch. Stress is building this exact millisecond under the ground you stand on. Frame by frame science shows us we are small before planetary mechanics. 10 minutes ago, you thought it was just a wave. Now you know it is the end of a world. Survival depends on 362 seconds of correct decision. Education is the only barrier between life and natural disaster statistics. Leave your like and comment what you would do if you had 842 seconds to decide.